Goldust and Stardust, Los Matadores, and the Usos. By the way, only 3 of these people are still with the company. Just saying that right now. Actually, only 4 people I have named so far on the show, besides Cena and the McMahons, are still with the company. That's just pretty funny to me, and it's always funny to look back at these matches and be like, okay, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. Especially from the early late teens of 2000s, because you could look at the 80s and be like, yeah, they're all retired. In the 90s. But it's funny to look at the early late teens and be like, oh yeah, I remember these guys just got released. Or just ended their contracts. Damien Mizdow and The Miz would pick up the tag team gold in a very good match. I have it on right now. It's actually one of my favorite tag team matches to go back and watch. I thought Goldust and Stardust were actually a great tag team, in my opinion, just because they worked so well together. And it was funny because Cody Rhodes, one, hates the Stardust character. He did not want to play this character. Cody Rhodes, it would lead to him leaving the company because he felt this character killed any momentum Cody Rhodes could possibly have. But I thought it was a kind of cool character, in my opinion. I just thought it was different for Cody. But hey, if you don't like a gimmick, you don't like a gimmick. I can't. He did everything to make it work, and for him, he just didn't feel it was working. He would then request his release, and that would be his antithesis to leave the company and go do other things. The Miz and Mizdow would pick up the win here, and it's a fun match to go watch if you got the time. It's a 16-minute match, so buckle up. It's a long match, but it's fun to watch, in my opinion. After this, we got a 4-on-4 Survivor Series elimination match with Team Natalya versus Team Paige. Team Natalya consisting of Natalya, Alicia Fox, Emma, and Naomi, with Tyson Kidd as their manager, versus Team Paige of Cameron, Layla, Paige, and Summer Rae. It would be, the wrestlers would be eliminated. Cameron, Layla, Summer Rae, and Paige. It was actually a clean sweep for Team Natalya. You do not see that often, ladies and gentlemen. That is something that only happens really in video games. So, very clean sweep in a long 14-minute match. They gave the women time in this match. Not a great match, but not a terrible match. We then got Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. He would defeat Dean Ambrose by disqualification. Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose would then have a match at TLC, which would end up in the famous Dean Ambrose going to hit Bray Wyatt with a television monitor, and the television monitor exploding in Dean Ambrose's face, which has lived on in Botchamania clips for all time. So, that's funny to go back and watch the build to this match and then know, okay, this is where it would happen. After this, we got a tag team match of Adam Rose and the Bunny. That's right. If you don't remember, Adam Rose had a gimmick when he was in WWE of basically he was a partier, he was a rock star, and one of his rosebuds, Adam Rose's rosebuds, would be a bunny. And that would end up being his tag team partner versus Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil. Slater and Gator, because Titus O'Neil went to University of Florida, and they will never let us forget that. This was a 2-minute and 36-second tag team match. A match that is basically left to history. After this, we had a 33-second Divas Championship match with Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee. This match is actually better remembered for what happened before the match of AJ Lee and Brie Bella kissing. They kissed before the match, and Brie Bella would use that as a distraction. It was a throwback to when Daniel Bryan lost the title at WrestleMania, and it was just a joke on that. Brie Bella would kiss her, and Nikki Bella would roll up AJ Lee for the win. After this, we have your main event, Team Cena, John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, Big Show, and Ryback versus Team Authority, Seth Rollins, Kane, Luke Harper. Rest in peace to the big man. Mark Henry and Rusev in a great Survivor Series match. It was... First, you had basically Mark Henry get eliminated by the Big Show in a pinfall, 48 seconds. Ryback get eliminated by Rusev. Rusev lose by countout at 20 minutes. Eric Rowan get eliminated by Luke Harper. John Cena get eliminated by Seth Rollins after the Big Show turned heel, joined the Authority, and hit John Cena with a knockout punch. Then Dolph Ziggler and basically Big Show would walk away and be counted out. Kane would be eliminated by Dolph Ziggler, and with a roll-up, Dolph Ziggler would then fight off Luke Harper and Seth Rollins, and would roll up Luke Harper, and then Triple H would attack the referee and would basically knock out Dolph Ziggler with a pedigree and would call in Scar Armstrong, who in kayfabe was apparently Triple H's pocket since the very first day Triple H took power. But as they roll Seth Rollins on Dolph Ziggler and then go to make the 3 count, the arena cuts to black, and for the first time ever, Sting shows up in WWE's arena. The crowd went nuts when he came out. I have never heard a crazier ovation, except for maybe sometimes with The Rock and The Undertaker. Those are the only two that might beat him. When Sting came out... Oh, and Edge coming back at the Royal Rumble. Almost forgot Edge coming back. But when Sting came out to that applause, it was unbelievable. No one expected Sting to show up. No one in their right minds ever thought Sting would come to WWE. After leaving TNA, he would tease going to WWE, but it would never seem possible until I am one of those guys who I don't believe it's going to happen. Like, I don't believe a team's going to win the game until the last second ticks off the clock. I don't believe anything is going to happen till the last possible second, and it actually happens. So, I'm that type of guy. So, when it happened, and I watched it on replay, I'm like, oh my god, Sting's in WWE. Holy shit. Sting would then attack Triple H, causing their feud at WrestleMania 31, and would roll Dolph Ziggler on top of Seth Rollins. They would make the 3 count. The Authority is officially gone. And that is your Survivor Series 2015 review. A Survivor Series that had such big ups and such low downs. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for early WrestleMania card predictions. Now, I'm going to state that this is just my predictions. I am looking forward to WrestleMania 38, and let's see what this goes to. So, on the opening card, we're probably going to get a women's tag team match where it will be Queen Zelina Vega and Carmella versus Toxic Attraction. And Toxic Attraction will win their debut match in WWE on the main roster on the pre-show. To go with the pre-show in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I believe it will be Madcap Moss. Madcap Moss will win the Battle Royal. And we'll get to more of that later. And for the Women's Battle Royal, I think Naomi's going to win it again. I don't know why. I just got that feeling she's going to join the Bloodline. It's not going to lead to a SmackDown Women's Championship match, but it will lead to her in winning the Battle Royal. And finally, for a Raw Tag Team Championship match, it will be the champions The champions will beat the Street Profits, and they will defend against the Dirty Dogs, and they will win. Because I believe AJ Styles is going to be later on the card. So now onto the main show with the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, defending against the New Day. I believe that feud is going to go to WrestleMania, and the New Day will defeat the Usos. After which, we will get an Intercontinental Championship match with Baron Corbin, the champion, versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn will resign with the company, will turn face, and will defeat Baron Corbin to win the Intercontinental Championship back. After which, we will get the United States Championship match of Damian Priest retaining the title against that could be a fun one. AJ Styles. Nah, not AJ Styles, no. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins will go into the United States title picture. It will be a very cool little feud for them. It's something I could really see Seth Rollins getting into, because I'm going into something else a little bit later. After this, The Undertaker will return for one last match with Triple H. Triple H and The Undertaker will have one last match, ladies and gentlemen. And Triple H will finally get the monkey off his back. And finally, in his fourth match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, pin The Undertaker for them to both walk out and say, okay, we're done. This is our last match. So, that is what's going to happen for that. And then we go on to the Women's Championship matches. SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks will defeat her former best friend Bayley at WrestleMania. Bayley will come back and win the Royal Rumble, and she will challenge Sasha Banks, and it will finally be the match we've all waited to see. And then in a non-title match, Kevin Owens, who will re-sign with the company, will face off against Bearcat Keith Lee, and Keith Lee will pick up the win. And then, in your Raw Women's Championship match, we will get Becky Lynch, who will still be a champion at the time, versus Paige. Paige will return. She will face Becky Lynch, and she will win the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Or the Raw Women's Championship match. I apologize. Raw Women's Championship match. And then we get Big E versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, in which Big E will defeat AJ Styles. And finally, in your Universal Championship match to close out the night, we will get Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. Sheamus will win the Royal Rumble and will go on to face Roman Reigns. He will turn face, and we will get Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. Roman Reigns will retain, leading, and The Rock will show up just to close out the show, and The Rock will have a stare down with Roman Reigns to set up WrestleMania 39. Oh, also in the big card, we will get RK Bro, Randy Orton versus Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle will pick up the win over Randy Orton after they lose the tag team titles. They will feud, and Riddle will pick up the win. And that is your WrestleMania card prediction from the big guy. And now we're reading from the Book of Rules. Hair versus hair match. 2 superstars compete in the standard rules contest. The loser must have their head shaved bald. The winner does the honor of shaving the loser's head with scissors, razors, barber chairs will be provided. A reading